yeah, just going back to the start. If you go onto Google Classroom, it's Extra Credit Photoshop Challenge. So I want you to work on this if you get done early with editing your photos. First thing you want to do is you want to click on the zip file, click on Open in a new window, and I want you to download the zip file. But basically, the zip file is and you click on the download one on the top right. This is going to give you like a folder with like a bunch of images you can use to do your Photoshop challenge. It's 103 megabytes. It's a large file just because the images in this folder are high res, and they're really good pictures to use for this. So you just want to open up go to your Finder, go to your Downloads folder, and then you want to look for this file that says Shift Art Photoshop Challenge. Click on the zip file. You can come in. And you're just going to click on the folder, and this is going to give you a bunch of different images to use for your Photoshop challenge. So I'm just going to scroll these really quickly. These are actually some really nice photos that are gathered from the internet. This is like for backgrounds that you can use. You can also use it for like parts of your picture as well. There's some images of people too. Oops. And some of these images are really spread apart. So you can use these images as well. Yeah, you just want to look through the folder to find like images you want to use. But so you're gonna download the zip file, and then you also want to click on this link to this is called Shift Art Photoshop Challenges. So this is like where I grabbed the photos from this website. But so the current photos in that folder that I gave you, it was for the challenge in December. So if you feel like you did a really good job with these photos, you can actually enter this into a contest. They're giving away a Wacom Syntec. That's like really expensive. But I'm just letting you know right now though, this contest is like really for like professional like Photoshoppers. So it's kind of very competitive with the people on this website. But I feel like this is something that might be fun for you guys to do. But if you look at like the past months, like they have one for November, so you can look at the results from November. So I would just look at these examples on this website to give you ideas on like what creative ways you can do to use Photoshop to manipulate these different photos to create a new photo. Alright, but you can look at these examples here, but basically the idea of like Photoshop, I think of it as like kind of like more an advanced version of collaging. So you guys know what collaging is? Collaging?
Yeah, putting different things together.
Yeah, basically putting like different photos together. If you ever done like collaging before in your other classes, it's kind of like just gluing like different photos together to make a new image. So Photoshop is almost like kind of like an advanced version of collaging. The only difference is you can kind of like blend and make photos and kind of like put them together as one. So these are some different ideas. We're gonna go over some of these throughout the year. We're gonna do like overlays like this, and like combine different images. So like basically what you're doing is I'm gonna have you guys like collage different photos together to make like a new one. A lot of these do like different textures, overlays to it that create different effects. But like you can see how like in these three over here, like they're using the same photos, but they're creating like completely different ideas for this. All right. So now with your Photoshop challenge, okay, so I would just look at this website to get some ideas, but also look at the images as well. So I would start off with this one that says Pixel Bay, and you can just click and drag, highlight all the images, and you can just double click on the images just to take a look at all of them. Alright, guys, take a look up here. So I would just take a look at these images and just find like an image you want to just start off as your background. This type of like Photoshop challenge, I just want you to just look at the images and kind of think about like ways you can combine these different photos. So like, for example, these like these stone hedges, like these statues, maybe I can use this as like one of my subjects in the photo. This one might be like more of like an effect. And some of these ones are like more open spaces. You might want to use those as your background. So just scroll through these to look at them. So I might actually want to use this one as my background for my photo. So you might want to spend some time just to look through it. And so the first thing you want to do is just click and drag your background into Photoshop. So that's the very first thing you want to do. Click and drag it into Photoshop, your background. Yeah, good morning. All right, so you got your background set up here. Now, okay, now one thing you're going to learn in the Photoshop challenge is you're going to learn how to cut the images out and then put them onto new images. Okay, this is something we're going to learn later in the year when we do other projects. Like our next project, we're going to be kind of like doing cutting and pasting onto different photos. So I'm going to have this as my background here. And you know, I actually want to use the stone edge here because I think this is kind of interesting to use. So I'm actually going to use that as my image. So next step you're going to do is you're going to click and drag the second image you want to do, like the stone hedges here, onto your Photoshop file. So drag it onto the actual Photoshop, not the PS. So you click and drag it onto your workspace that you're working on. You know, it's going to allow you to like put the image here. And once you put the image here, the transform happens automatically onto your photos. So you can actually click and drag, you know, make your photos bigger. You can kind of flip it around too. But I highly suggest to hold the shift key when you're resizing it. It's going to keep your photo the same ratio because you don't want to have like these photos looking kind of weird when you add them. So
please pardon the interruption at this time. If you have not released those students who are testing this morning, please do so. Please refer to the email so that all of those young people can report at this time. We would like to begin in the next 10 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation.
So, continue what I was saying though. Like maybe I might want to put these stone edges into the inside the water in this picture. So I'm just going to put it right here for now. All right, guys, you paying attention up here? Those of you that got done early. All right, so maybe I might want to put these stone hedges into the water. And again, if you want to resize it, you can hit Command T to resize your image. Just make sure you double click on this after you're done. And I'm also going to mention a couple of hotkeys like the transform. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper with the hotkeys. So one command you can use is transform. That's going to allow you to resize. Command T is going to allow you to resize and move your layers around. So you have one layer where your image is. And so now the next thing we have to do is we're going to have to cut the stone statues out of the background. All right, so I'm going to show you the easiest way of doing that using the Photoshop. We're going to be using this tool called the Quick Selection tool, and you can hit W to pull that up real quickly. But basically, this works like a brush. So you want to click on this one on here that says